surface. And although he's only had one run there, he has played some handsome strokes. Looks to be striking the ball well.
Yes, as you said, he's new to Test cricket, but he's played a lot of one-day cricket for New Zealand. He's played a lot of cricket for Canterbury. 316 for 4 wickets. I don't think you could wish for a better time to come in your first Test match.
Yeah, the light's good. The pitch is playing easily. The bowlers are tired.
It's interesting to note, Peter, just how the banter starts as soon as you get a new batter in. All of a sudden, the fielders get a slight lift for the wicket, don't they? Russell is starting to chat again about just reminding the bowlers of how well they're bowling.
Oh, I like that.
Well, I noticed earlier when he called, yes, I like it.
Yes, Kenny Rutherford will be aware of his role. He has to consolidate and also be aware of the run rate, which is important to New Zealand.
That's a shot he favours.
Yes, I know. Ripped up and did a very good job.
Did he? What about John Ward?
No, I didn't play with John.
Oh, didn't you?
No. Yes, Hicks had a marathon spell today, Peter, hasn't he? It's his 48th over. He must be getting a little tired. The spinners need to concentrate. It's the concentration that saps the energy more than actually bowling.
Jest to come up to you? Even an only jest?
Oh, nice.
Yes, on the odd flat one we played on, Barry Milburn often stood up and did a very good job.
Did he? What about John Ward?
No, I didn't play with John.
Oh, didn't you?
No. Yes, Hicks had a marathon spell today, Peter, hasn't he? It's his 48th over. He must be getting a little tired. The spinners need to concentrate. It's the concentration that saps the energy more than actually bowling the overs. But he's done a tremendous job, really. 48 overs for 70-odd runs, picked up a wicket. He certainly blocked off an end for England.
Who made 116, Jones 143, and Crowe 30. Quicker ball, which brings Latham his second run and his third.
It's an important time for New Zealand, this period of play. I know we've got 2 new batsmen at the crease, but it's important as well that they consolidate.
Coming onto the front foot, he's only playing in defence at the moment. There's been no chance for him to go into a big attacking shot, except for one from Tufnell that he hit through the offside and was brilliantly fielded by Lawrence. So once again, just turning it quietly, and a single for him takes him to 4. It ends the over, and it's 322 for 4.
Till I was about 21 or 22 and was dragged off, battered and beaten. That was the end of it, Henry.
Where'd you play?
Oh, first 5/8, mate. Of course I was superb. I won't go into all that.
Nipped around like a snipe,
yes.
I'm sure.
Amazing. Oh, down the wicket. He's gone for a big shot and he's got hold of it. And it bounces down in front of the sight screen and into it for 4.
Well, that was a good burst for freedom by Rod Latham, and it may loosen him up a bit. Give him the confidence to feel the the ball in the middle of the bat, hit it well, didn't he? Got over it and hit it, you know, hit through the line. It was just a good shot.
Onto the back foot this time. It's amazing, isn't it? Tufnell he gets hit, so he drops it a little bit short to counteract. If you've got 3 or 4 World Cup games coming up and you want to see that, well, you're going to pick your shots a bit.
And not go and watch the Palmers score nearly 600. I know exactly what you mean.
That's right. And have to pay to do it.
Yes, it then becomes sort of sadomasochism, doesn't
Yes.
it?
Well, I can think of better things to do with my money, perhaps. But no, it's been a marvellous game here, and the crowd seem to have had a lot more fun here, Henry.
They've sort of, yes, they have. They've enjoyed themselves and the game more.
Right.
Which I can understand. New Zealand have had a much better test match than
yes.
in either of the other two. And I mean, today and yesterday, they've had 2 cracking good days, although they've just begun to lose their way a bit since tea, haven't they?
Yes, they have. That's the first time for quite some time.
Bank of New Zealand's stump vision in tremendous order.
Right, yeah.
Just giving himself a bit of room. Oh, dear, I mean, this could be a run out. And Rutherford has run out. That's a terrible mix-up. Well, it was hit out to Graham Gooch, who was only, what, 15 metres from the bat. Rutherford was coming through. Latham, in the end, said no, and Rutherford was nowhere. He tried to get back, but he was a mile out.
Well, you see, Latham started, didn't he? And it was out by miles, but I tell you what, many fielders could have lost their heads, and Gooch had a wise head on his shoulders. So, 327 for 5.
Well, Deepak Patel coming to the wicket. Well, that was a nightmare situation, wasn't it?
Well, I think Latham has got to take some of the responsibility of that. He played the shot and started to run.
Yes, he did.
Rutherford responded, and Latham put the anchor down.
Yes, he got a bit hung there, didn't he?
Left him stranded.
Yes. I don't know why he called in the first place, because he hit it straight out to Gooch.
I don't know, one doesn't
So much, to be honest. The nerves and the heart will be pumping. It's not quite the same. Big step up.
Oh, it seemed like a bit of bat in that.
I think that's a drop catch. Went very sharp. Back pad, quick, low down. Yes, that's a trap. I think that's a chance.
Right.
It's been a remarkable effort for a part.
Last couple of test matches, if you put men around him, he plays shots. He tries to whack the spinner Tufnell out of the attack. This is the right moment when he's first come in to get as many close-in catches as they can, just for a few overs.
Sweeping fine here, Patel, so he's underway. Just the 1 run down to Hick, fielding on the boundary, done a deep backward square leg, so Patel has 1. And Rod Latham back in strike. Latham gets a long hop outside the off stump and hits his second boundary. A dreadfully short ball from Tufnell, but Latham puts it away.
Well, this just looked as if the ball stuck to his fingers and wouldn't come out. Look at that, halfway down the pitch, and goodness gracious me, if you're that man close into the bat, even Grant Nisbet would have hit that. Your hands get tired, your fingers get tired. I think somebody's got to stand at mid-off and say, come on, Graham, there's only 15 minutes to go. Really spin it. Just one real big spin ball might get a wicket. Got to encourage him to spin that ball.
Nicely grabbed away by Patel. Long chase for Stewart, who can really run. And the batsmen have completed 3 runs. Delicate little shot, no slip in. Welcome back to the Basin Reserve. 335 for 5, and Tufnell to bowl again. Another single there for Deepak Patel. Can blame him. It's a long walk up there. It's been a long hot day in the sun for him. I see. Jack Russell has had that pullover on all day. He's the only Englishman out there who's had it on. Full toss and hacked away. Gift delivery from Graham Hick, and Patel knew what to do with that one.
Well, that's about his second what I call really bad delivery all day. Full toss. The full toss that Alan Lamb got hit on the shin with, and now a full toss. That's just tiredness, I think. I think it's just got to him towards the end of the day. If you think about it, England have been bowling this test match without 3 of the bowlers that have played at Christchurch and at Auckland. Phil de Freitas, who's injured. Chris Lewis put an extra strain on the other people like David Lawrence and Ian Botham, Reeve and Hick in particular.
Hello. Yes, losing de Freitas early on was a big loss too, wasn't it, Jeffrey? He's bowled, what, 8 overs in the entire innings. And so the only recognised pace bowler there is David Lawrence.
Yeah, it lessens the alternatives for the captain, just to change different bowlers around.
Loud appeal and out. Patel is gone. Hick has his reward, and New Zealand lose a 6th wicket at 340.
Well, that's a shake of the head by Deepak Patel as he was given out, but I think that's out. Look at this, you just can't sweep off a length. There's the ball, the arm ball, just went dead straight. And I just don't think you can sweep willy-nilly off the stumps.
So Patel departs just a few minutes before stumps, and New Zealand 340 for 6.
Value for you.
Chris Cairns is the new batsman, so New Zealand not sending out a night watchman at this stage. And Cairns coming out to face just a few deliveries before the end of the day's play, with the dismissal of Deepak Patel.
Well, my co-commentator says that Deepak Patel's a long way down the pitch, but look, it's the arm ball. The umpire's got a good idea of the line of that. The swing going out. And he thought about it a long time and gave it. I must say, in the box, as soon as it hit him here, I thought it was out. I thought I could see the line of the arm ball.
New Zealand have only 35 runs on and 4 wickets in hand, so a lot's going to depend on these 2 players, and Ian Smith to some extent, and Murphy Sewer batted well in Auckland. Movement beside the sight screen there is concerning Rod Latham. Well, might have been some bat in that.
Yes, I think Rod Latham looks quite uncomfortable. I think he's a hitter of the ball, a striker. Doesn't like these men around the bat pad there. I think that's pad bat. Pad first on the bat. Yes, he squeezed that out, but it went very straight. I think I'd be getting another man up there if I was Graham Gooch. Sharpish. This is last over of the day probably, and I can't see Rod Latham striking a 6.
3 balls remaining in the day's play. A day in which New Zealand have scored 236 runs and England have taken 5 wickets, so it's almost a rerun of day 1.
Oh, yes, yes, yes.
Jack Russell there encouraging Philip Tufnell. Oh, yes, yes, yes. Keeps telling him, well bowled.
At the end of day 3, with New Zealand 340 for 6 wickets, with Rod Latham on 12 in his first Test match. Chris Cairns yet to score, and New Zealand at the moment 35 runs on from the England score of 305. Here's the England bowling figures. Phil de Freitas didn't bowl yesterday because of injury. David Lawrence has only taken 1 wicket, that of Blair Hartland. That was back on Friday. Phil Tufnell and Graham Hick were the 2 bowlers that did most of the work yesterday. Ian Botham and Dermot Reeve had some unsuccessful overs in terms of taking wickets. Right.